Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Paranormal, the New Normal presents Paranormal Primetime. Once
Bow, bow,
again,
bow.
I'm your host, Jeremy, being joined by Malachi.
How's everybody doing?
The audience is eerily quiet. But that's right, folks. We are cranking our way into the middle of season 3 at this point of everybody's favorite paranormal show, Supernatural. And we got 2 episodes to talk about this week. What do we think about them? Well, you'll find out in a minute. So, I guess we'll let Malachi start off with his episode as always.
Okay, so jumping into it, we got Supernatural, Season 3, Episode 9, Maleficarum. And I'm going to try to attempt to read this, as the notes are said, exactly as it was written. The writer, Ben Edund, and director Robert Singer, which would have been better for Jeremy's episode there.
Hmm.
Um, So we're starting off, and there's an interracial couple that is getting pretty hot and heavy there for a second. And then they're done throwing a party, they're getting into it, and she says, "Let me go freshen up." And then all of a sudden, she starts bleeding out of her teeth. Teeth are falling out, and the husband comes up to see what's going on. The door slams, and she just chokes to death on a floor there, full of bloody teeth mouth shit. So they cut to Sam and Dean show up to the house, and this time they're saying they're from the CDC. And oh yeah, at the time when the people still trusted the CDC, there's a little drunk handwriting too here. Dean asks who hates his wife, right? The husband who got locked out of the room there. Who hates your wife? And he's like, nobody hates my wife. And then Sam finds a hex bag in the bathroom in the house somewhere, and they figure out it's witches. And we find out that Dean like hates witches, so he goes on this whole diatribe about how they're gross and pimply popply, nasty, crazy shit going on with him. He doesn't like them. Gooey witches. There we go. So then we cut to the scene of this bitch's face, and she's speaking some sort of crazy Latin crap. And the husband, who they had interviewed just then, the husband and the wife who died, he's eating a sandwich in his fucking car, like a burger from, wherever, fucking Wendy's. And all of a sudden, maggots start coming out. And then the crazy bitch's face we see again. You get exactly the meal you deserve, asshole. So Sam and Dean show up, and he's choking to death, dying. They end up burning the hex bag, and they ask him again, "Who the fuck hates you?" And that's when this dude's like, "Hey, I'm a sleazebag. I was cheating on my wife. I ended the affair a week ago." Maybe that would have been some relevant information in the beginning, right? I mean, his wife's dead. Like, who? If he gets caught, does that even matter at that point, right? Somebody just killed your wife. I didn't get that. Sam and Dean go to question the cunt that they suspected did it, the one that they had the affair with, but she's dead. And she has dead rabbits and Satan shit all over the house there. So, um,
That was the funny shit when Dean turns around, the rabbit's right in his face, and he screams like a little bitch. That's
yeah.
hilarious.
And he's like, how could they do that to that poor little guy?
I mean, that is fuck. That was a fucking. That actually is a fucked up scene. That's cruel shit.
Well, as somebody who's hunted rabbits, well,
Eh.
happens. That process ain't looking
Yeah,
good.
hunting, but you're not pulling their fucking teeth out with pliers.
Yeah, I get
That's
it.
a little more. That's a little more fucking gruesome.
Puppy would do it. Puppy's
Mm.
crazy like that. She tries to. We actually have bunnies that walk the storage fence line, like not wild bunnies, but house pet bunnies. I have no idea. They come and eat our grass, and she loves chasing them.
I got
But
wild.
back.
I got wild
You got
bunnies up the ass. I got wild bunnies up the ass in my yard. They keep, they keep like every fucking month or so. There's a new batch of babies.
do you what did you eat, pup? Is it all whitetails or because we
No,
have jackrabbits and whitetails?
no, they're all, yeah, they're all whitetails. They're all brown with whitetails. Yeah, I actually caught
Hmm.
I caught a baby one, and like my kids were petting it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we would hunt the whitetails, but the jackrabbits, like when you'd hit one with a car or something, the jackrabbits would just take those bitches out into the weeds and start eating them. It was crazy. Like we lived in an onion field, so you hit a rabbit every time you drove home,
Oh
and
Jesus!
they were always gone within 5 minutes. Rabbits are vicious, horrible
Yeah.
little creatures.
My daughter has one as a fucking pet, dude.
Yeah, my wife did too, and it attacked her. It wasn't good.
Not Snickers. He never would do that.
Okay, back to the story here. Um. Oh yeah. So after Dean finds this crazy demon lady sacrificing rabbits and shit, and I'm quoting, "This is a good reason we should mandate Sharia law in the United States." I'm pretty sure that's a direct quote out of the show. Just saying. Dean said that. I did not.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're cutting to the other three bitches, and they're faking a book club. And the husband comes down, and the husband's like, "Hey, you guys have a book club, but you never have fucking books. And everybody knows you're just, talking gossip and getting drunk or whatever." And so then we cut to Sam and Dean going to rough these sea bags up. And man, it seems like I skipped a big. Oh no, yeah, okay. So the after the husband left, they were talking about how, like, that's how your husband got the bonus. This is how you've won so many pottery fucking shows, and like they're all getting this fantastical luck. So Sam and Dean go to rough them up, and after that happens, they're all catty with each other. Driving back, Sam notices that they are being successful, right? He finds out that they're winning shit and they're getting bonuses and all this fantastical crap is happening. And there's another sexist comment I wrote down. They have a gay bro to bro conversation with each other because Sam's like, we might have to off these women. And that's when they have this weird bro to bro conversation. And Dean's like, why do you all of a sudden want to start, killing people? These are humans. These aren't like monsters. This isn't a fucking vampire or something. This is an actual human. And then Sam's like, I got to be more like you, Dean. I love you. And I mean, huge gay meter going up there. And then they're driving further down the road, and all of a sudden the car stops. Everything flickers on and off. And who's in the road but Ruby, which I'm not giving up her name this time. We already know who it is. And Dean pulls out the Colt immediately, and
Well,
they're
not immediately. First, Sam gets out of the car all puppy love eyes and is like, "Ruby, what are you doing here, my love?"
yeah. Sam gets the puppy love eyes in both episodes.
Mm-hmm.
He's over his ex that burned up on the ceiling already. That's for sure.
Apparently, that flame went out.
Yeah, the flame went out. That was a good one. So, yeah, I mean, they're going back and forth, and Dean's like, why should we trust you? You're a cunt. And she's like, why did I save your life? Blah, 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 blah. And Dean eventually shoots at her with the Colt, but Sam blocks the shot, and she disappears. she was telling them like, you guys need to run. You're not ready for this. There's a demon in town. This isn't just a coven of witches. Like, there's a demon here, and this demon's gonna kick your ass. You are not ready for that.
Foreshadowing.
And then before Ruby leaves, she screams Allah Akbar. I don't know what that was about, but
Yeah, okay.
pretty sure that was a direct quote. Puppy. Okay. So at the hotel, Dean, this is where Dean asked Sam all of a sudden about that conversation they had before about how he cares about, it doesn't care about the sanctity of humanity anymore. And then we get into another little gay moment. Um, and that's when Sam says, you're leaving, and I got to be like, you, Poppy. Hi. Then Dean starts putting blood. Oh, he puking blood. Dean just starts puking blood after this gay moment in the hotel room. And Sam's tearing the fucking hotel apart looking for a hex bag, can't find one. He rushes out of the room and he's going to these sea bags coven. So he gets there and he immediately he just busts through the door and he's got his gun pulled out at these three chicks, just like, fuck you, stop the spell, turn the spell off, or I'm killing you. And that's when he's got them all lined up, like about to execute them each. And he looks to the one and he's like, why didn't you get anything for your troubles, you little rascal? And she's crying and whining and and then all of a sudden we find out she's a demon. She's big bitch, and
Big bad bitch.
big bad bitch. And she admits to it, and Sam just unloads on this C word, and that's when she just raises her hand and stops the cult bullet,
All
which I don't
matrixy.
think. I don't think that happens ever again, right?
I don't, not to my recollection, no.
Yeah. And I think this is a first for witches too, correct?
Nope.
No? Okay. Okay.
No, that is wrong because uh oh, okay, no, actually it's the first actual episode with with actual witches. There's been
Okay.
witchcraft in the show before, but not actual witches.
Yeah, like a coven of witches. So now all of a sudden, big bad demon bitch has Sam pinned to the wall, and then Dean busts through the door, and she pins Dean to the wall, and she starts talking about how okay, and then she kills after she's got Sam and Dean pinned. The one uppity woman, she starts screaming at the demon lady who they all sold their souls to, like, you can't do this, blah 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 blah, yak 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 yak, and then she just like offs that one. So
That
there's
was a cool.
one other
That
woman
that
left.
that was a cool kill.
Yeah. um. So now we got Sam and Dean pinned up against the wall. We got this other witch lady in the coven, and everybody's freaking out because this is a big bad wolf. And Dean had tried to stab her, but he had failed. And then one of the witch girls, nope. Then Ruby appears, and we find out that big bad demon woman and Ruby used to be in love, and like Ruby was a witch from a coven at some point in time
She
who
said
sold her soul.
she said during the plague.
Well, yeah, that was later, but yeah, she's a witch, and that's how she became a demon. And they're going back and forth, like, you got out of hell, good for you, getting out of the gate, blah, bickering and stuff. And then that's when Dean tries to stab her, and he fails. So the other witch girl from the coven starts a spell, and this distracts the demon lady for a little bit, and then Dean does stab her, but the witch lady gets killed in the process of that one too.
Oh no.
So
He doesn't just stab her. He fucking shanks that bitch like he shows her
I,
money. Like he gets like six freaking like shanks in like in the like lower part of her back. It's pure execution style.
but it was a lot of good. I don't know how I feel about this episode, but after the case is closed, puppy, get away from there. Case is closed. Um, Dean's driving by himself, and Ruby stops the car, and they get out and have a little heart to heart. And she admits that once she was human, so we had a little foreshadowing to this, but she did admit once she was human and she was around during like the plague times, and that Dean is literally fucked and he's going to turn into a demon. And, she says it'll break you if it takes 100 years or 1,000 years. It's going to break you. And then, and there's no way for Ruby to save him. She's been kind of leading Sam along on this quest to save Dean, but that's absolute horseshit. But Dean needs to make Sam less of a pussy, and then that's the end.
Yeah. What you rate it?
3.7.
I will give it a 4.1 simply for Dean shanking in the back.
4.1. We got to get a little bit more conservative with our votes here, I think.
I haven't gone above a 4.5 yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and actually, there is another first in this episode.
What was that?
This is the first time we learn that demons are corrupted versions of human souls in hell.
Oh,
we
yeah.
never really got an explanation of demons to this episode.
Yeah, that works.
And it's also the first time that Dean actually meets Ruby in person.
Is it? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it is. I had just assumed.
They've been in the same like place in the same time before, but they never were actually met, and then actually like Dean never actually saw her.
Okay, yeah, that lines up.
But yeah,
I thought your episode was better than my episode, but if you want to,
and which
I don't know, the
those,
witchcraft thing's kind of girly.
Not always, but I mean, if you've seen American Horror Story Witches, like, or American Horror Story Coven and Armageddon or Apocalypse, whatever the fuck it is, like witches
I
are
saw
pretty
the
badass.
first one. I couldn't fucking do it after that.
Yeah, the witches season is fucking awesome. But and for those who don't know, the Malleus Maleficarum means Hammer of the Witches, and it was basically a guide on how to kill witches during the Inquisition. But
Was that was one of the hottest selling? I didn't even put that together, right? That was like one of the first books ever mass published, right?
yeah, it was because it was a guide by the Inquisitors, like the Christians, on how to kill witches.
It sold more than the Bible. At one point in time, that was like the most published book, right?
Basically. And for those who don't know, Hammer of the Witches is a great Cradle of Filth album. Actually, and supposedly this episode is like just like a huge like spoof or parody of the show Charmed. But
I don't get how that would be a spoof.
and
My wife
apparently
watches Charmed.
Apparently, in the German dub of this episode, the witches are voiced by the same actresses from Charmed.
They all spoke German?
Apparently.
That's weird. That is a fun fact.
Apparently, yeah. But yeah, I guess we can jump to my episode. My episode was episode 10, and it's Dream a Little Dream of Me, which this one was a weird one. I will say that much. Directed by Steve Boyum, and written by Catherine Humphris and Sarah Gamble. So names we've heard before. But basically, we
should have
start off
been
the
Bobbert Singer.
well, there's reasons, but we start off the episode with Bobby. Actually, for I think that's the first. I think it's the first time we started the episode off with Bobby completely. But
Yeah.
he's looking around an old house, and a woman jumps out and attacks him, and suddenly the scene cuts, and we see a maid entering a hotel room, and she sees Bobby sleeping in bed, so she leaves because she's like, Sonny, Sonny, and she tries to shake him awake, but he's not waking up, so she screams for help. Cute title scene. And we jump to Sam drinking in a bar alone, down some whiskey, and Dean comes in and asks Sam, like, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, why are you drinking whiskey? And Sam says he's upset about being unable to save Dean because Dean doesn't want to be saved. Meh.
Gay
Gay
meter.
meter.
What do you rate it?
Yep. That's about a 2
What
on
do
the
you
gay
rate
meter.
it?
That's a
2 in
2
the
on the
gay
gay
meter.
meter.
Okay, I would agree.
But he asks Dean how he can care so little about himself. But Dean gets a
Yeah.
call on his phone for he answers, and apparently he is Bobby's emergency contact. We go to the hospital. We see Bobby sitting in a hospital bed, and the doctor's telling Sam Dean that he doesn't know what's causing it or how to treat it. That he's just went to sleep and won't wake up. They check his hotel room and find, after much extensive searching, they find his research behind the clothes in the closet, and they find an article about the doctor who died by going to sleep and not waking up. So they figure it's related. The doctor is conducting a sleep study apparently, and Sam stays behind to research shit while Dean goes to the doctor's office. Dean finds a guy who was part of a sleep study named Jeremy Frost, good name, and he offers Dean a beer. Dean drinks it, and apparently Jeremy has a condition where he can't dream naturally, and the study allowed him to dream by drinking a tea made of African dream root,
Well, it wasn't
which
naturally. It was, or I don't know if they got into that yet.
not yet,
But
not
like,
yet,
okay,
not
okay.
yet. That's the end of the episode. But and African dream root, I don't know if that really works, folks. Don't go playing with it. Just don't blame us if shit happens. But
We bought
we
it.
go,
My wife tried it. Didn't do anything.
you didn't have the right concoction, probably.
Probably. This is like
But
15 years ago.
well, yeah. But they go back to Bobby's house. They're back in the hospital room with Bobby, and Sam tells Dean about the African dream root, which allows people to enter other people's dreams. They figure out that someone killed the doctor this way and is now going after Bobby. Bobby's we're back in his dream, and Bobby's screaming, hiding in a closet from whoever's after him. And Dean suggests to Sam that they take the dream route and get inside Bobby's dream to save him. And Sam says it's hard to come by, so Dean says, let's call Bela. And Sam's sitting at his computer, and he hears a knock at the door. And we see Bela coming in wearing a beige trench coat, and she slowly takes off her coat, revealing lingerie underneath. If you ever want to see Maggie from Walking Dead in lingerie, here's your chance. Doesn't disappoint. And she starts to kiss Sam, and they land on the bed just before Dean shouts for Sam to wake up. Sam wakes up, drooling, shocked, and especially when Dean mentions Bela, there's a knock at the door, and Bela enters for real, freaking Sam out in a hilarious way. And she gives Dean the African dream root, claiming she's doing this for Bobby because he saved her life in Flagstaff. And then Dean kicks her out right after, tells her to get her own room.
Well, and I'll do like when Bella walks in, she says hi to Dean, and then she says hi to Sam, and Sam says, "Hi, Bella."
and then after as Dean's kicking her out, he says, "Bye, Bella." But so Sam makes 2 glasses of the tea, and they put some of Bobby's hair in it because just like Polyjuice Potion, you have to have some part of the person in it. Uh, but they drink and they find their version of Bobby's house. Sam goes outside and enters a bright, technicolored world full of flowers and birds and all that good shit. And all of a sudden, the door slams behind him, separating him from Dean. Dean searches the house and finds Bobby in the closet. He tells Bobby this is a dream, but Bobby doesn't believe him when a woman approaches them. And Bobby says, Is she real then?" And she has stamp marks all over, which scares Bobby. He tells Dean that this woman is his wife. She confronts Bobby why over why he stabbed her, and Bobby claims she was possessed and he didn't know how to save her back then. Dean pulls him away. Outside, we see Sam getting whacked with a baseball bat, and we see Jeremy, who's angry to find Sam there. Back inside, Dean convinces Bobby to take control of the dream, and the woman disappears, and they all wake up a split second before Sam gets his head bashed in. At the hospital, again, Dean asks Bobby about his wife. Bobby confesses that everyone gets into hunting somehow, and thanks Dean for saving him. Sam says he can't find the man in the dream. Bobby explains that his name is.
I thought that was fucked up though. When fucking Dean asked Bobby right away like that, I would not do that in real life. You know, I don't think that's something a man asks another man. Hey, did you really kill your wife?
I
That was
know
a
it's.
little awkward. That was awkward.
But Bobby says that this guy in the dream, his name is Jeremy Frost, and he wasn't able to dream because his dad bashed his head in with a baseball bat, which resulted in Charcot-Wilbrand syndrome, basically an inability to dream. And that Jeremy was able to get into Bobby's dream by offering him a beer, which he drank, leaving his DNA available for Jeremy to use in the African Dream routine. Dean, with a very hilarious look on his face after knowing he drank a beer at the guy's house too, uh, says, "Oh, that's a smart idea." And Sam's like, "You didn't." He's like, "I was thirsty." But Dean admits to it, drinking a beer too. So now they know Jeremy can come after him. Bobby tells him to coffee up because he can't go to sleep. We jump forward 2 days, and a very pissed off Dean, who obviously hasn't slept, is driving the Impala, yelling at Bobby over the phone because they can't find Jeremy. He says he's not a ghost. Where could this guy be? He pulls over and decides to go to sleep, ready to take Jeremy on because he's sick of staying awake. Sam pulls out some of Dean's hair, insisting on going too. Dean doesn't like the idea of Sam digging around his head, but Sam won't listen. They both wake up in the Impala and step outside to see Lisa on a blanket with a picnic basket, telling Dean they have to pick up Ben soon and that she loves him before disappearing. Dean denies ever having that dream to Sam. Sam spots Jeremy in the woods and they go after him, but Dean falls behind and finds himself alone in a long hallway. We jump back to Sam looking for Dean in the woods, and we see Dean enter the motel room and see someone at the desk turning the light off and on. It's a dream version of him turns around, and Dean gets it that this is supposed to be the dark part of his own subconscious after he calls the other versions of himself a handsome devil. And Dream Dean tells real Dean how worthless he feels and how he hates what he sees in the mirror. Dean tries to control the dream by snapping his fingers, but nothing happens. Dream Dean slams the door and locks it, holds a shotgun, and tells Dean they need to talk. Meanwhile, we're back with Sam, and he wakes up in the Impala to find Jeremy next to him. He hits Sam with the bat, and Sam falls out of the car and tries to crawl away. Jeremy comes after him, and Sam's all of a sudden tied to stakes in the ground. And Jeremy says he gets stronger with each dream, and Sam and Dean aren't going to be waking up. We go back to Dean and Dream Dean, and Dream Dean is yelling at Dean, telling him he's got nothing but Sam. Everything he owns was his dad's. His dad thought he was a good soldier and nothing else, and that he doted on Sam while not caring whether Dean lived or died. Dean fights back, saying his father was an obsessed bastard who couldn't protect his family, who let his wife die, and who wasn't there for Sam. Dean doesn't deserve what his dad put on him, and he doesn't deserve to go to hell. He grabs a shotgun and he shoots Dream version of himself. Spills it, and then Dean transferred. Dream Dean, ew, that's a tongue twister. Dream Dean transforms into a black-eyed demon version of Dean, which is
Dream Dean is a dream.
supposed to be a manifestation of his fear of his death coming on, the fact that he'll basically becoming a demon in hell. And Dream Dean tells him, "This is what you're going to become." And we go back to Sam, who's getting his ass whooped by Jeremy with the bat still. And Jeremy tells Sam there's nothing Jeremy can't do because of the dream route. And Sam reminds Jeremy, "Hey, buddy, I took the dream route too, so fuck you." And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jeremy's father appears. And we see Jeremy frozen in fear, giving Sam the chance to deliver two sharp whacks to the head with the baseball bat, killing Jeremy. Sam and Dean wake up in the Impala. I need a cigarette after that, many tongue twisters. Fuck. But we go back to the motel, and Bobby asks Sam if his ability to enter Jeremy's dream had anything to do with his psychic stuff, and Sam says no, but we know he
He
doesn't.
doesn't know.
There's no way knowing
He
that for
doesn't
sure.
know.
And Dean says he can't find Bela, and after they talk about why Bela would help them for a minute, because Bobby says all he did in Flagstaff was give her a good deal on an amulet. Dean checks the safe and finds out that Bela stole the Colt. And Dean says, "Pack your shit, Sam. We're gonna go kill a bitch." But while they're packing up, Dean asks Sam what he saw in the dream. Sam says he only saw Jeremy, and Dean lies, saying nothing happened with him because he was looking for Sam. They get into the car, and Dean admits to Sam that he doesn't want to die and he doesn't want to go to hell. And Sam promises he'll find a way to save him. Gay meter about too. But and there's a final scene of Dean's dream with the demon version himself repeating to Dean that he's going to die and that what he's going to become, and then snapping his fingers to end the dream. Cue end credit scene.
I thought we lost Bobby this episode. I was heartbroken in the beginning.
No, nowhere near that yet. Thank God.
Heartbroken. I thought it was good, dude. I thought it was like
And
a good, unique episode with storyline plot.
I mean,
It's funny because these two actually did kind of tie together, both being like Dean realizing what's coming. Like we're getting closer to the end of the season, so now like we got to tie Dean in to want to live, and both of these episodes kind of did that.
yeah. I mean, we're building to the we're building to the mid-season finale at this point. So
Isn't this one the short season? Like how many more episodes do we have?
I am not sure actually, but
I think this one was that writer's strike thing you were talking about.
it is this season. But actually, did we already hit that? Oh, oops.
And while Jeremy's looking that up, I was watching both of these episodes assembling bikes near the bird seed at Walmart. So if you see the guy doing that, give him $100.
Actually, we are only 6 episodes away from the end of the season. So 3 more of these
Yeah, okay.
episodes, and we'll get to the end of the season.
So shit
But
might
yeah,
be. And why did they do it though? Was it was a writer's strike, or did they think it was going to cancel?
No, it was a writer's strike. But supposedly, this episode was supposed to have Jason from Friday the 13th appear in it.
Jason, what?
Jason from Friday the 13th was supposed to appear in this episode.
Oh, they just couldn't afford it or something?
Apparently the people they asked to use him, they found out a few days before shooting that the studio they asked didn't have permission to use the character, that they don't own the rights, so they had to rewrite the script.
Because they kind of had that somewhat in the Trickster episode.
Yeah, somewhat, but
they had the guy with the chainsaw, like a
yeah,
mixed match between the slashers.
it actually gets. We'll see that up in the next season as well, but and apparently Dean and Sam's dreams were supposed to go against each other, according to Kripke. Sam dreaming of having sex with Bela was to show that below his soft exterior he was a horn dog, like Dean. And Dean's dream, on the other hand, was to show his desire to live a normal life with Lisa. So that's why they did like the opposite thing.
Huh. That, I mean, you would really have to examine that episode to find that shit out. That makes sense, though. That does make a lot of fucking sense now that you just said it.
But Kripke must have done an interview about this episode or something somewhere. Or I don't know, on DVD commentary probably. But that'll do the episode. That's our 2 episodes this week. Oh,
what?
yeah.
No, you got to rate it. Rate it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, motherfucker. But this one I honestly would give a 3.6. I wasn't impressed by it that much. It was watchable, but I wasn't impressed by this one.
I would give it a 4.3 for the whole like hallucinating in the dream world, and then like the Bela lie tying in fucking Dean waking up to like, oh shit, I'm going to hell. Bobby backstory. I'm giving it a 4.3. Oh, that was
Yeah,
good.
I don't know. It
You
was
got
too
the Christmas episode and the Bobby episode. Too
it,
many
it,
Chris.
it was too Inception-y.
I get that. I hated that movie.
Me too. But we will be back next week, folks, with 2 more episodes for you. And like we said, 3 more episodes until we're done with season 3. So season 4 coming up, and I'm pretty sure season 4 is a pretty damn good season, if I remember right. But we will see you next week. Have a good one, everybody.